Be fine.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of Junior J's Uncaged. I'm Nathaniel Kramer.
And I'm Christian Bowman.
And welcome to the episode. Today we have a special guest here. We have Alistair Mansfield, Jr. of the robotics team of the Indubitables. So, Alistair, you guys had state this weekend. What happened?
Yes, we did. We went undefeated the entire time, except up until finals, where we lost our first two matches of the entire season.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but we're still super proud.
As you should be.
Yeah, you guys had an undefeated season. It was a great season. But what are your thoughts? Oh, sorry, Simo.
No, you're good. So, based on what happened at state, what are your thoughts looking into the future, off-season next year and whatnot?
Well, we have a very exciting next year, to be perfectly honest. We are splitting off from Iowa and finally joining our own Nebraska league.
Okay.
We're really going to lock in next year, spend a lot of our time doing our stuff. A lot of what we did this year, plus a little bit extra, what we're planning to do next year. Just more code, more build, more practice, a lot of more practice. Keep it going. There's not as much competition next year, so it should be an easy path to Worlds.
Good. Now, what do you think that your team struggled with? And I know you guys had a great early on until that finals. In that finals happened, what do you guys think you struggled with?
I think we just took things a little too fast. I think we needed to slow down. I think we were kind of nervous, so we kind of just freaked out a little bit, panicked. Other than that, though, I think we did play just about as well as we could. We had a few slip-ups, but realistically, they might have just been a little better than us at the end of the day. But I think we still put up a really good fight and kind of broke their mental down second round.
I see. So, kind of tying back into my last question, but how do you plan on bouncing back after this year?
Well, there's a lot of really good off-season opportunities. We were all kind of disappointed last week with how we did, but then we realized that there are a couple more opportunities that we have to continue with this robot in this game for a little bit longer. So we'll be submitting our submission for a tournament in Maryland. It's really exclusive. It's like the best teams in the world. You have to submit a video of a solo match. We're going to run that sometime next week, hopefully submit it, hopefully get in. And sometime this summer in June, we might be going to Maryland to compete with the best teams in the world.
I see you.
Yeah, that sounds really cool, and I really hope you guys get that. But now that you guys are done, there's nothing else to do. What do you guys plan to do for the rest of this school year?
Well, we do FTC right now, so the Indubitables is an FTC team, so it's like smaller robots, like 18 by 18. And there's another, under the same company, there's another tournament called the FRC robots, which are basically closer to like 3 feet by 3 feet, and they're like really big teams, like 30, 40 guys almost. So we'll be doing that for the rest of the season. I guess technically it's FRC season now. Other than that, though, for FTC, we're going to do the thing that I mentioned before, keep the robot nice and ready to go for our outreach events. And usually sometime during the beginning of summer, we get invited to go to Iowa for a little out-season tournament. So we're going to keep the practice up, hopefully win a little money there, actually. But, yeah, that's about it for the rest of the year. Nothing crazy. We're just kind of done, but we're still learning.
I respect the commitment, certainly, to still get better, even though competition may not be as high. So, last question here, and a bit more of a lighthearted question. For you and your team, what is your favorite post-meet meal?
Now, this is a hard one, I'm going to be honest, because we really split up near the end. We kind of went our own ways, but the majority of the team, we all went to a Perkins right by the hotel right after the meet. So probably some of the absolute just worst food I've ever had, but great experience. Great experience. Never been to a Perkins in my life until after state, but I mean, best post-meet meal, really garbage food, but I mean, really great team bonding experience.
That sounds like it was great. Alistair, thank you very much for coming on the podcast and
Thank you.
Giving us some insight on the season so far.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one. Okay, so now that we're back on, so let's do a little spring break overview. As you just heard with robotics, they were first in their division, and then they lost, sadly, in the finals, their undefeated season. They scored a new high score of 305 in the placement matches. That's one of the top scorers in the world. That's really great, but unfortunate for them, they could not bring it home. And this is the end of their regular season and state. So now, as you heard, there's going to have some invite tournaments later.
Yeah, I think next year they'll bounce back more than ever.
I think so, too.
So I've always led by the belief that if you don't lose, you don't get better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this will be the best thing that ever happened to them.
Yeah, and then having that entire Indubitables team being seniors with more experience, it's going to be really great.
Absolutely. So shifting gears a little bit towards our hockey team, they did win state not too long ago. They won 3-2 versus Tri-City, but they were down 0-2 going into the third period. They scored 3 goals in 7 minutes, with Jonah Salem having 2 of them, which earned him player of the game. And the final goal was made by Liam Smithberg, which ultimately sealed it off for the Junior Jays. And sophomore Ethan Aboud had 23 saves to 25 shots on goal.
Yeah, that environment at that hockey game was crazy.
Electric.
Yeah, it was that third period really just, it was so loud in there.
Yeah, for sure.
It was so unbelievably loud. Jonah Salem, he had so much recognition after that game, and he did a great job.
He deserved it, too. Works very hard.
Now on to basketball. Prep sadly lost to Bell West. We were going into the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead, but we couldn't bring it home. Ended up losing 36-41. Defense was really, really good, but offense just couldn't get it done. Really struggling with easy putbacks. But I will say Bell West did go on to win the state tournament against Millard North. So that, I'm not discounting Bell West. They are a very, very good team.
They're juggernauts, to put it one way. And I believe that was the 5th year in a row they won against Millard North in the
I think
state finals.
They've played each other 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
Bell West has won 3 of them. Millard North has won 2.
Okay, I see.
But that's just going back and forth. They're always going to be the top 2 favorites to win state that year. So it's great that we can put up a good fight against this team.
Absolutely. So now we're gonna go shift a little bit to the future. Now we've got a trap shooting tournament this weekend at Coke, which Prep will be hosting, and Prep is the favorite to win said tournament. And looking a little later into the rest of the school year, state tournament is late April in Grand Island, and I think we've got a great team and we could do some great things for the rest of this year.
Yeah, I think our team is really solid, and I think we could have a good run in state.
For sure. So a little bit of baseball action now. Start yesterday, the 14th of March. We were supposed to play at Gretna. However, due to the rainy weather, that game was unfortunately canceled. It was supposed to start at 4:30, and it's unfortunate that the first game of the year has been canceled for the baseball team. Little adversity to start the season, but I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple guys on the team. They were really excited to go out and play Gretna. They were hyped, getting to start off the season well. Sadly, they didn't. But they do have a game today at 4:30 versus Millard West. Kind of unfortunate this is the first game of the season. Millard West is such a dominant team.
Oh, for sure.
They are by far the best overall team in the state. They're the favorites to win state. They are so good. I think Prep's going to start off on a loss, losing 3-9 today.
Certainly not a good position for the Junior Jays to be playing state juggernauts their first match. So I think that they will also lose this game by a score of 5-1.
And then this tomorrow, we have a first doubleheader of the season here at Prep. First game is at 11:30. Second game will be around 1 or 2. It's versus Staley. Last year they beat us. They beat us twice they beat us once last year.
Yeah.
But still, that doesn't. They're gonna be a solid team. You gotta watch out for them. I think Prep's gonna go 1-1 on this weekend. going 7-4 in the first game and 5-7 or 5-7 loss in the second game.
I respect that, but I think even though last year we did lose to them by a considerable margin, I think that we have a much better team this year, and assuming the Millard West game goes as we both think it will, I think that they'll be really looking to bounce back here.
Mhm.
And knowing Mooney, he's a very good coach. I think that he'll be able to steer this team in the right direction. So for that reason, I think Prep will go undefeated tomorrow. They'll win the first game 5-3 and the second game 4-3.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. But I think the guys are gonna struggle with that first loss against Millard West. It's gonna be tough with that starting off with a loss in the season.
Yeah,
If that happens, but
definitely.
yeah.
So yesterday, actually, soccer, shifting gears a little bit now, they played at Papio South in their first game of the year at 7 o'clock last night, and I predicted that Prep would win 1-0.
And I said that Prep was gonna win 2-1.
So we both predicted a W, but Kramer was closer, and he is up 1-0 for that.
Let's go.
And the next game that soccer has is Tuesday the 19th, which is going to game at Prep against Millard North, starting at 4:30. And I predict that Prep will have a great defensive performance, and win 2-0 next Tuesday.
I think it's gonna be a bit more of a higher scoring game. I think Prep's gonna win 4-2. I trust our front strikers and our wings. So
For sure, I could see that, definitely.
Yep. And now first track meet of the year on Friday the 15th, on today actually at the College of St. Mary, and then on Tuesday the 19th is an all Metro meet at West Side. So there's gonna be a bunch of teams from the Metro going in at West Side. It's gonna be fun.
For sure. And a little bit of golf action. You've got Tuesday the 19th. They have an invitational at Holmes Golf Course, and I think it'll be interesting to see how this team starts out the year, for sure. They won state a couple years ago. They've been consistently good, so I think that they'll be able to do some great things.
Shifting gears away from the main sports, we got this Saturday we have the Shamrocks volleyball tournament here at Prep, and the winner can get $300. There's QR codes at the school if you guys want to sign up. I recommend it. It's gonna be fun if you go with your friends. I've done volleyball tournament before. I really recommend joining up.
I do for sure recommend it too, and $300 is a pretty appetizing prize if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
And a little bit of an honorable mention here, but we have the 24 hours for $24 fast for solidarity, which is currently the halfway point right now. As you can see from my shirt, I am participating in the fast. Pretty difficult so far, obviously, because you aren't able to eat as much. Some participants are doing a full water fast where they only drink water for 24 hours, and some are doing a light snack fast. I'm doing the light snack fast so that I'll be still in tip-top shape for track. And even then, with still having some food in my stomach, it's difficult, and it helps, definitely helps all participants know what it's like to suffer from food insecurity on a regular basis. So I think, despite how hard it is, I think it's a pretty eye-opening experience.
Yeah, I think it's great that Prep's doing this for the guys, and it's a great fundraiser.
Absolutely.
And I think it's just it's nice that Prep's doing this.
So we have nothing else today. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Thank you very much. Okay. Oh.